Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show here on KOXE. I am Garrett Stuckley, along with Brownwood Lions head football coach Gerald Brooksy. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Got a little, I don't know. I haven't had any allergy stuff since I moved here, but it blew in today, I think. So
Well,
I'm struggling with that a little bit.
one day it's 90 degrees and one day it's 70,
Yeah.
so you don't know what to expect. It's supposed to rain this weekend, which would be very welcome around here.
hmm
But of course, we'll talk a little football here in a minute. We're going to recap some of the sports that took place last night, and let's start with Lady Lions softball. A big win over Graham, 14-5. Avenged a 17-3 loss earlier this year in district, and with that, they've clinched the playoff berth. And they also know they will be the number one seed in Division One for Class 4A, based on enrollment numbers and possible tiebreakers. So they are in the playoffs. They host Brock Thursday at 6:30 p.m. in the regular season finale, and then they will be off to playoffs. Lions baseball with a big bounce back win last night, 10-2 over Glenrose. They're now tied with Graham for third place in the district. They're behind Mineral Wells and Brock, who are tied for first, and they'll host Glenrose again at 7 p.m. Thursday in another big district game. Lady Lions golf is at regionals. River Jones shot a 173 with rounds of 89 and 84, and Tristan Garcia had a 182 rounds of 87 and 95. Lions golf is in action at the Region 1 4A tournament in Lubbock today, starting today, and they'll conclude tomorrow. And then Brownwood tennis is back in action today. They're playing Atlanta. It's their last tournament before hosting district next week. And then, of course, this weekend, the Lady Lions and Lions track team are in Lubbock for the Region 1 4A meet. Lady Lions have 21 entrants. Lions have 7. Of course, the Lady Lions have won every meet they have been in this year, and Coach Lipsy feels like they have a chance to claim regionals as well. And we will recap all of that information on Monday's show. But, Coach, any thoughts on all the stuff we got going on right now?
It's a lot going on. I know that Coach Moore is running the tires off some vehicles, getting everything, and it's I don't know, it's an exciting time around Brownwood. You also have one act play
That's true. Yes.
also advancing to regional. I think theirs is like the 26th. So that's a pretty big deal too. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on that are exciting.
Yeah, and then you know a little bit about one act play stuff.
Yeah, I do. I got my senior daughter is in one act play. They also advanced to regional this year, they have so far this year. So yeah, I'm a one act play dad.
There you go. Well, congratulations to the one act play teams, and good luck to them next week. Guess we can talk a little football. I guess what has happened since we visited with you last week.
Well, I don't know. It's a little bit more of the same. It's more of interviewing people, and I had a potential guy come in yesterday who talked and had a good time, a good meeting, and then I've got another one that's going to be here on Monday of next week. So we've got 3 spots we're hiring for right now, and then there's a couple of guys that are still figuring out. At least one in the high school staff figuring out what he's going to do, and he's got a good opportunity, but there's always reasons to go and reasons to stay, and so and they're all valid either way. So we'll just have to we'll know in the next few days about what he's going to do. And from a selfish point, I hope he decides to stay, but at the end of the day, we all have to make what decisions that we feel like are best for us professionally and for our families, certainly for our families. And so it's that part of it. It's an exciting time, but it's also it's time consuming because you're trying to get the best people you can find, and so it'll be nice when all that's a little more concrete.
I would imagine so. As far as the new coaches, are you hiring for certain positions, or will you get them in and then move them around based on?
Well, I would like to hire for certain positions, but it's I guess, a combination of the two. I want to hire the best coaches that we can find, and then fit things where it's the best fit for our staff. So yeah, there's a certain. I would like to hire for certain positions, but if it's a great coach and he's better over, say he's better over in the secondary, and the guy that we've got slotted to coach secondary might be better at running backs or whatever, then or would be a good coach at running backs, just whatever the fit is.
Okay.
I think that's fairly standard, for the.
Right. True. True. So as far as implementing the system and things like that, how's all that going?
With Coach Vanera's here today. He's going to be here 3 days next week, and as we said that, the days he's here, we're doing defense. So the days that he was here last week, and just we spent a time in the with the kids watching video and kind of introducing the the oil video and on the board with them and implementing what the defense look like. And today we will start on the field getting lined up and potential, an introduction of basic alignment and some of the basic stunts that we're going to run. And so we did that with the 7th graders this morning, and so we're going to do that with the 5th period, the sophomores and juniors, I guess juniors and seniors to be, and then the freshmen in the last period will be our 10th graders, and 8th graders. We'll do that with all those guys today, and then he'll be back on Monday, and we'll start building on it and get him as much as we can. Offensively, it is, talking to the kids. You try to really work on them, and then it's such a mental game, and so I have to keep reminding them, guys, don't get discouraged because you're learning the 7th grade offense. We've got to teach these guys 4 years of offense and defense, but we've got to teach them 4 years in 4 months, and so and everything's built on something else. So you can't just skip the 7th grade offense part of it to go to the varsity offense part of it, because all that's built on what. Although when you look at what we run in 7th grade and you look at what we run as juniors and seniors, or as varsity football players, may not feel like it has a lot in common. It's at the skeleton of it, it's the exact same thing. So they have to learn that part of it. We spent some time yesterday because of testing with our 10th graders. So we just had the 11th graders. So we spent, and then a couple of 9th graders that are in the 5th period, of watching video of, hey guys, this is what it's going to look like eventually, and in the plays that we've been running so far, and then just I think kids are like all of us, so we just sometimes need to be over and over and over and over reassured that, hey, just keep plugging. It's gonna, it's throwing spaghetti at the wall, and some of it sticks and some of it falls, and you got to keep throwing. And so it's fun. It's exciting. I think as the kids are going to get to see more and more of what it can look like, then I think we're getting a lot of buy-in from them, and we're having kids start to emerge. I think that are going to be good fits for good position for the positions they're in. So I'm pleased with where we're at, but I'm not satisfied with where we're at. I mean, we've got a million miles to go, but the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So
That's true. That's true. Of course, you also mentioned earlier that y'all are going to have the 7-on-7 league again. I guess when does that start?
it starts in the May. It's the Mondays in May, and so we'll have both, or all three really. We should have a varsity, a JV, and a freshman unit. Varsity and JV is kind of going to be I guess, a loose interpretation, because we really won't know. I mean, I'm sitting here making a roster and starting to try to put a roster together, but in all honesty, no matter how good these kids look in shorts, until we put pads on them in August, there may be a kid that we're super high on, and we put pads on him, and all of a sudden he's not quite what you thought he was going to be in pads, or vice versa. There may be a kid that we thought not much of in shorts, but you put pads on him, and all of a sudden a light bulb goes off or whatever. And I mean, I've seen it both ways. So it's hard to have an idea of really, truly, except if they're returning players, or going to be seniors, what that varsity roster is going to look like. So there's going to be a lot of movement that, you know, it's a starting point.
Of course, with everything being so new, what do you want to see? What do you hope to get out of this 7-on-7 league?
I think it's actually probably more important for us at this point than it will be down the road, because it's going to be another like teaching time and of being able to really spend time in what is not a huge part of our offense with the drop back passing game, but it is part of our offense. It's not a huge part, but and so it gives us a chance to work on that and really just getting those schemes down. And when it's just additional work time, and we're down in future years, I don't know that that'll be such an important point, but I think for us right now, it's going to be time well spent.
I know we mentioned that Brownwood's hosting its qualifier on May 22nd, I believe.
May 31st.
May 31st, okay.
May 31st.
All right. So.
And we'll be in Mineral Wells before that. I don't know the dates right offhand, but then and we're playing in 3 state qualifying tournaments: Mineral Wells, then ours, then and then Jim Ned.
Okay.
The following week later, 2 weeks later, something like that.
That was my next question. Are we going to be in any more? So
yeah.
So now we know. Of course, you mentioned last week we were talking about the schedule and the Ingleside game. Any more updates on that yet?
No, I haven't heard back yet. And in fact, I didn't want to be a pain in Coach Hill's side, so he told me he would get back to me. So I'm waiting until he gets back to me. So I haven't heard no on that. So
okay.
Since I haven't heard no, I'm feeling like maybe that, maybe that's a yes. Who knows?
All right. Well, we'll wait to see what's happening on that. Anything else going on football-wise? Anything you want to mention, Coach?
Still physicals, May 16th, for all sports, and again, that's for any kid that did not have one last year, that's new to the district. They have to have one on file with us, and every 2 years. And so, if a kid that's come up through Brownwood, they will have them in 7th grade, 9th grade, and 11th grade. So. If you're coming in as 7th grader, if you're coming in as a 7th grader, they're going to need a physical, and then and it's my understanding that they are free of charge, which is, a lot of people don't know, that's pretty much unheard of in the rest of the sporting world. So, so take advantage of it.
Definitely. All right. Anything else we need to talk about today?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, I'll let you thank our sponsors, and we'll get at it.
All right, thank you to Auto Glass Magic, Bruner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bon Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edwards Jones Investments, Heartland Funeral Home Hendrick Clinic, Landmark Admin, MC Bank, Painter and Johnson Associates, Smith and Sharp Agencies, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Tees.
All right, and that will be a wrap for today's Coach's Show. We will be back here Monday for the Brownwood Lions Coach's Show on KOXE, KOXE.com, and the KOXE app.